Man, oh man, this ongoing battle DH Games is having, pretty much fighting with the Starry Gem farmers. Not even as much of, it feels like, of the black market Starry Gem sellers, but it's more or less kind of the ones who sell those Starry Gems, the farmers. So there's people out there that just have these macros, they have them on PC with tons of blue stacks and all these other emulator instances, and they're just making new accounts, and just literally trying to farm anything worthwhile that they can sell in the auction house, turn into Starry Gems, and then trade them on the black market at a very big discount, usually at like 20% of their original value. So yeah, like 2,500 Starry Gems instead of $100 in game, it's like $20 on the black market. That is what DH Games has been trying to fight against for the longest time. And that's how, for a while there, we actually had the introduction of bound items, and that has continued to be something. However, they're taking it a step further now, and I think this is where it gets a little bit controversial. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about these new bound Starry Gems, not just bound copies from these stones. So first and foremost, in case you guys are not understanding what we mean, this right here, what you see with this B- here, this is what we're going to be able to kind of get from this event coming up. They're Awakening Resonance Crystals, where you're guaranteed a certain tier copy or higher. This one in this case is a B- or higher copy, and it is bound. So essentially what this means is heroes who use bound items to awaken cannot be traded in the auction house. They can only be used on your account. They can be, of course, fed to the soul gathering statue, used in soul perfection, or retired for a certain amount of value. However, what they're talking about in this event is going to be a little bit different here, because essentially what's going to happen, and I'm going to show you guys these very specifically now and bring up the text as well. So first off, we can jump over to this image here. You guys can see in this Black Friday event, we have these like new items, although that icon looks different now. They have this like transcendent pink, purple, blue, tealish chains around the hammer, whereas if we take a look back over here at our item, the current one just has like a red X above it. So I think they're like changing either how it works, or maybe there's going to be a couple different versions. I really don't know, but again, this is an assumption. So these stones are going to be bound. Now that's not the only thing they're talking about here, because other thing I want to talk about, I'm going to bring this whole screen over for you guys. It's going to get really bright. Actually, you know what? I can make it darker for you. Hold on. So there we go. Now you're not blind. I can use dark mode. So essentially, down the bottom here in this function update screen. So let me even zoom in more. Get a good zoom in. So this number 3 item here. So added a Soulbound Awakening in the Soul Temple. You can only use Soulbound Starry Gems, which is a new tier of Starry Gems. They're not contract, they're soulbound, can be used to awaken heroes' souls in the Soul Awakening. After the Soulbound Awakening, heroes are seen as bound and cannot be traded on the auction house. Only soulbound Starry Gems can be obtained by retiring soulbound heroes. So this is interesting, and you can see right here the new icon they've been using on everything to this week. They're all these, I think this is the icon for the soulbound Starry Gems too. And it says added the Soulbound Starry Gem, which is the item, which can only be used in the Soul Awakening section for Soulbound Awakenings. Now, I think Soulbound Awakenings will still count towards things like Soul Awakening Session, Soul Awakening Gala, all those type things. So there's no worry there. It's just that these awakenings that you do are only going to be giving you heroes that you can then retire again for a refund or additional Soulbound Starry Gems, or use the hero, one of the two. Can only be consumed as Starry Gems-ish items to purchase packages, etc., but cannot be used for bidding or anything like that. So it does seem like these are still going to be usable. So if you guys are wondering, they're still going to be usable in like purchasing value packs and stuff. So you don't have to worry about that part. And of course, they have it earlier, like I showed you the image here a second ago. You can use them even in this. So that it's not saying you need them for this. They just always put the lowest tier icon of what you need. So you can use Soulbound Starry Gems, you can use Contract Starry Gems, you can use Starry Gems, or you can use Prism Starry Gems to purchase any of the packages in game. So that isn't going to change. The only difference is I think this is definitely a way that they're going to combat these guys that do the farming, because they do things like this event. They probably have access to a lot of old VIP 13 accounts. So they're literally going to go on here, they're going to buy this, and then they're going to awaken it and try to sell in the auction house. And that way DH Games gets around that by making this a bound copy. And that way, okay, here's the next part. So the reason why they're doing this is if they did do something like that and they could then go back in here and retire it, you notice an A- retires for 8,000 contract starry gems. So that means they now have 80 plus, probably more like over 100 additional soul awakenings to try to hit something good to then sell on the auction house. So that's the main reason why. So as we keep getting access to higher and higher tiers of these as the years go on, probably for however long DH Games keeps Idle Heroes going, it's their cash cow. It's how they keep the lights on. So I don't foresee them dropping Idle Heroes anytime soon unless they have another title that takes over, because otherwise if they lose Idle Heroes, that's basically all their income. Because their other side games don't make that much. Infinite Magic Raid, Ode to Heroes, I think is still around. Heroic Expedition started out great and then crashed and burned from not good updates or anything. So I think this is going to happen more and more often, and that's why what we're going to see is probably another tier here. You know how like sometimes we have that special Sacred Awakening session? I think we're going to have separate bound items. So you're going to see a fourth tier up the top here that has a bound version. So these are probably going to shift over and there's going to be like a bound version here, which again, I don't think is the worst thing. I don't think it is. This is the controversial topic though. But I do want to reiterate, the main reason why this isn't that bad really is that those contract starry gems, those soulbound starry gems, prism, whatever, they can all still be used to purchase items and packages, etc. They just can't be used for gifting, so you can't trade them to anybody else, but you couldn't do that with contract starry gems either, or bidding in the auction house, which again, you couldn't do previously with contract starry gems either. So this is 100% a method to combat and fight against. The only downside is previously for free-to-play players, essentially what you were able to do is even like up here, you'd get this bound stone, you just use it on any copy. If it wasn't a good enough hero, it didn't high roll it, you just retire it, and you would be getting what? For B- stone, you'd basically be getting 300 back, right? Yeah, you'd be getting 300 contract starry gems back that you then could use either for value packages or for reawakening heroes to hopefully get something big, maybe for the auction house or something like that. Now, you're still going to get those bound starry gems back. It's just those then future awakenings are going to be heroes that are only bound on your account. But again, you can still use those for value packages. You can use them for everything else. Nothing is going to change right there. So, like, it's kind of not that big of a deal, but at the same time is definitely something we have to talk about, because it is a change and is definitely something that they're doing directly to combat the starry gem farmers. So I don't know if that means black market price is going to go up, down, sideways, backwards, stop doing, I don't know. We'll have to see how it turns out, but that is the change, and that's why it's quote unquote controversial. But if you understand it, it's not as bad as it seems. But it does mean anybody who's free to play has less opportunity to find something to then sell in the auction house, to buy something on the auction house. Does that make sense? Yeah, it should. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. I'll send feedback, whatever you guys, leave comments down below. I want to see like 100, 200, 300 comments on this video. I don't care who you are. If you like it, say you like it. If you don't like it, say you don't like it. Everybody, if this video has 10,000 views, I want to see like 10,000 comments. If you guys watch this video, you need to give your feedback, because I want to pass that along to DH Games. I'll have them read it all, and maybe that'll influence them one way or another to change things. We'll have to see. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll keep fighting for you, and I'll see you guys next time.